I'm Craig Novorr with Paragon Capital Management. I've spent a lot of time the last several weeks traveling all over the country talking to clients, potential clients, and hearing what people are saying. So I thought I'd take a few minutes today and kind of share with you some of the things that I've been hearing and some of the answers that we've been giving. The first part of this year, investors have really been consumed with the debt crisis. Are we going to raise the debt ceiling? Are we going to fail on the U.S. Treasury? And as expected, Washington came together and a deal got done at the last minute to avoid a huge crisis. There's still a lot of fear in the market. People are still very nervous. We still have the potential of a recession. There's still a lot of questions on what the Fed is going to do. Are we in a pause, and for how long? Are they going to raise rates again? When are they going to decrease rates? Will it be later this year? Will it be into next year? What's going on between Russia and Ukraine? How that's going to affect the markets. So there's still a lot of issues out there, but at the same time, the stock market in 2023 has done fantastic. We've seen the NASDAQ up almost 30% year to date. We've seen the S&P and the Dow and the Russell all doing very well so far this year. So the question is, what's the second half of the year going to do? And what do investors do with their portfolios? So we've been out talking a lot about the structured products that we do, a lot about private investments and alternatives as a way to protect your portfolio from the volatility that could happen in the second half of the year. One of the events that could create volatility in the markets is commercial real estate. And that's the next leg that could be a big issue with commercial banks. The banks have just come through a banking crisis that was started with Silicon Valley and First Republic, but now they face another hurdle as a lot of empty offices sit out there in the United States from coast to coast, as we still have a lot of work from home employees. As those leases come due, a lot of companies will either not renew their leases or they will shrink their footprint. And that will create more office space on the market. A lot of the investors that invested in office buildings and commercial real estate the last several years could default on those loans, and those properties could end up back at some of the bigger commercial banks, creating all kinds of issues in the banking world and in the economy. So one of the nice things about things like structured products are that we're able to put downside protection underneath our investments and protect you if we do go into a mild recession, or if we do see the market give back some of the gains that it had in the first half of the year. We're also able to create those structured products to do multiple different things depending on what your goals are. We can create growth notes that can act like equities and perform along the lines of the equity markets, but with downside protection. We can create bond alternatives that can generate income that's higher than what you would get in traditional bond markets like treasuries or corporates or municipals or even high yield. So these types of tools that most people have not heard about are very attractive at this time because there's so much fear and so much uncertainty about where the markets are going. One of the things I would encourage you to do, if some of these things resonate with you, if you feel uncertainty about the markets, if you feel fear about your investment portfolio and you're not sure how to go forward, give us a call. We'd love to sit down and talk with you and explain to you some of the different strategies that we're recommending to our clients, that we're implementing across our portfolios, that we're out talking with clients and prospects all over the country about. I'm Craig Novorr with Paragon Capital Management. You can find us on LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube, or just give us a good old-fashioned phone call.